Every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is a story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello there and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Frank Omalape. In our major story, federal government vows to rescue all Nigerians in the captivity of Boko Haram. Also in this program, military beefs up security around officers and soldiers of the Nigerian army involved in the ongoing general court-martial in Jos, Abuja and other parts of the country. Nigerian Navy vows to continue manhunt for oil thieves in the Ikorodu area of Lagos. And outside Nigeria now, fighting rages on in the Syria-Turkey border town of Kabin, with Islamic State militants moving into a southern district. Thank you for joining us now. The federal government's priority is to rescue all Nigerians in the captivity of violent Boko Haram. Director General of the National Orientation Agency, Mike Omeri, made this known in a statement made available to journalists in Abuja on Tuesday. Omeri said the insurgents could never win the war against Nigeria and urged the Boko Haram fighters to surrender as their colleagues had done. The National Emergency Boss commended Nigerians for their cooperation with the security forces, adding that the fight against insurgency was going on as planned. Omeri also enjoined Nigerians to report suspicious persons and movement to nearby security agencies or simply send text messages to 112, a security code meant to pass information to the security forces. And now military authorities have intensified security around officers and soldiers of the Nigerian army involved in the ongoing general court-martial in Jos, Abuja, as well as other parts of the country. CoreTV News learned that the military authorities decided to move the court-martial from 1st Division, Kaduna, to the 3rd Armored Division, Jos, for security reasons. And sources revealed that the military high command decided to move all the cases emanating from the ongoing operation in northeast to Jos and Abuja because of the need for a more effective security arrangement for those under interrogation and those conducting the trial. The source added that members of the Boko Haram Islamic State had written a letter to the headquarters of 1st Division Kaduna, where the trial was initially supposed to take place, that they will attack the trial venue for reasons yet to be made clear. The set members were also said to have written a similar letter to the headquarters of the Division 3 of the Nigerian Army in Jos. And now the Flag Officer commanding Nigerian Army and Navy Western Command, Sir Sani Aladi, says his men have intercepted well over 2,050 liters containers with stolen petroleum products on the Ikorodu waterways, with operations still ongoing. He added that arrested suspects are currently undergoing investigation and that those culpable will be paraded and handed over to the appropriate authorities after the probe. Omotayo was at a briefing organized by the Western Naval Command of the Nigerian Navy for journalists and filing this report.
The operation, which started on Sunday and still ongoing, has resulted in the map-up of over 2,050 liters containers of stolen petroleum products recovered from stolen pipeline vandals operating along Arepo, Majidun, Makoko and Ogolonto water creeks in the state. The Flag Officer Commanding of the Western Naval Command, Sami Alade, ascribed the success of the operation to quality information rendered by members of the public, while calling for more of such cooperation to uncover other hideouts of oil thieves.
It is my hope also that those arrested at the end of the day, those found, culpable at the end of the day, when, handed over, will be appropriately prosecuted. Okay? That is my hope also.
The commander who led the operation team on the Majidun waterways speaks on the success attained so far.
We had a very good plan based on intelligence and surveillance carried out over the operations area where we are operating right now. And we got in there and got our job done with so much ease.
Speaking on the next line of action, the Flag Officer Commanding of the Western Naval Command reveals that the recovered petroleum products will be handed over to the NNPC for safe custody until the operation is over.
The arrested products will be handed over to PPMC later today for storage pending termination of the operation.
A manager of NNPC, who was also present at the briefing, commended the efforts of the Nigerian Navy and added that the success of the operation has helped salvage the crippling status of the country's economy.
This is the first time I'm seeing this kind of massive catch anywhere. And I have it on good authority that the management of NNPC and PPMC are going to work closely with the Navy because we are impressed by what we see. We do analysis because we don't know the quality as it is. It's not taken from a depot, it's taken on the line. There could be mold, there could be other contaminants inside. So we do an analysis. Once we confirm good product, we send it back into the system. Of course, the system, we record it that there's so much recovered and brought back into the system.
Officials of the Nigerian Navy later hand over the recovered products to the NNPC for safekeeping. 2,000 containers containing petroleum products and counting is a success story behind the Awusi operation, which means Operation Scatter, taken up by the Nigerian Navy. Even as today witnessed the handover of this product to the right authorities, it is expected that Nigerians desist from practice that would further endanger the economy of the country. Omotayo Alo, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Meanwhile, residents of Ikorodu area of Lagos have frowned at the traffic gridlock brought about by the security checks by security agencies comprising men of the Nigerian Army and the Navy. The development, which follows Sunday's raid on suspected pipeline vendors in the Majidu community of the area, has left the residents and motorists severely complaining about their endless wait in traffic. They fear the worst, especially as workers prepare to resume work on Wednesday after the Eid al-Kabir holiday. Oluwaseyi Adegoke complete this story in this report presented from our studios. Just this Sunday, the combined team of security officials uncovered this development in the Majidu area of Ikorodu. Though the security sweep has earned them praises, the activities of the security operatives have left a sore taste in the mouth of majority of the residents and motorists.
Anti-ball creates this thing. So, and dissolving the food people since yesterday is unbearable. My appeal is that when they do things, I think the excesses of the officers should be checked.
It's too much, yo. Past almost half an hour now, we are inside the hold-up. So no movement, nothing. We don't know what happened. Today, I just said that I should go to my work today. So past 4 days now, I've been in my house.
This traffic is from all these Navy people, and they are not following the instruction. If they follow instruction, the go-slow cannot be like this. So I want government to tell them to reduce the go-slow. Tomorrow's work, now everybody's going to work. Now, from now till evening, I saw the go-slow will be both go and come back. It's very bad.
Surprisingly, this lone voice refused to toe the line of others.
Well, what I will say is that what they are doing is rightly good in order to curb the activities of the bunkerers, because the federal government have put in place that anything oil theft must be stopped.
And right now, this is what they are trying to do. We can have patience with them in order to make things good for us.
The residents and motorists have, however, appealed to the government to call the security operatives to order in order to reduce the traffic gridlock on the road. You're watching CoreTV Primetime News. A former Anambra State Governor, Peter Obi, decamped to PDP from ABGA. Find out more after this timeout. Stay with us.
As a doctor, I've seen lots of mothers. Now, I'm one myself. Other mothers have taught me things only a mother could know. But when it came to relieving their baby's pain and fever, many mothers don't know what to do. So I told them about Panadol Children. Panadol Children is fast and effective, and it can be taken from when they're 3 months old. I'm still learning to be a mother, and it's getting better every day. New Panadol Children, fast and effective relief from pain and fever.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes, and bleeding from the eyes, ears, and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water, or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces, or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees, or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Glad to have you back now. Former Anambra State Governor Peter Obi has defected to the People's Democratic Party from the All Progressives Grand Alliance. He formerly joined PDP when he played host to a delegation of the party leaders from the Southeast Zone led by the Secretary to the government of the Federation, Anyim Pius Anyim, in his private residence in Onitsha. Party spokesman Olisa Metu, who represented the PDP National Chairman Adamu Mozo, had in an opening speech noted that President Goodluck Jonathan and the party leaders were interested in having Obi in their midst, since he had always backed the Jonathan presidency. Other PDP leaders at the meeting praised the former governor and acknowledged that he was the sole reason the party lost elections in Anambra State and not ABGA as a party. The motion to invite Obi to the party was moved by former PDP chairman Okwesi Nwodo and seconded by Minister of Labour Emeka Nwogu. In accepting to join the ruling party, the former governor said he was now prepared to work for the party as an insider. He also expressed his commitment to working for President Jonathan's re-election in 2015. Now, the race for the Lagos State Government House come 2015 is increasingly becoming interesting by the day. The latest to join the list of aspirants on the platform of the All Progressive Congress is Ganiu Larewaju Solomon, who officially declares his interest in the Ikorodu area of the state on Tuesday. Oluwaseyi Adegoke brought back this report presented from our studios. Ikorodu town in Lagos witnessed influx of visitors as politicians on the platform of APC and party supporters, as well as the family and friends of Ganiu Larewaju Solomon, thronged the community for the official declaration. The governorship aspirant will prize himself as tested and trusted based on his experience as lawmaker at the National Assembly. Says he has a duty to sustain the legacies of good governance in Lagos.
I've said this several times. The source of my strength is the backing I have of the masses of our party members for the party tickets and the electorates at large. They've been prodding me on, and their support is a source of inspiration to me. Day in, day out, they come to pledge their support for me. They formed groups on my behalf. They fund the groups themselves. And what else will I demand? And this has given me enough confidence that there's nothing stopping us. With our support, nothing stopping us.
He sounded confident about his choice as candidate on the platform of the APC, adding that no amount of imposition will work against him.
2015 is a different ball game altogether. We now have a mega party, APC, and our party leadership said there's going to be primaries. And I've also waited, you can say in the wings, for 8 years or more, praying that this man will do well and that we have the opportunity to give it a shot again. So what else will anybody offer me? This is not about taking what you don't want. It's about what do you want. You don't give anybody what he doesn't want. I know what I want based on my consultation with my people. They unanimously agreed that we should give the governorship everything that it takes so that we get there. So that is exactly what we are doing now.
He, however, did not fail to commend leaders of the All Progressive Congress and urge all members of the party to mobilize support for him ahead of the APC governorship primaries in Lagos. Governor Rotimi Amechi of Rivers State has taken his wife at the federal government over butchered arms deals in South Africa. Amechi, speaking in Ado-Ekiti, says the action of the federal government has given shield for corrupt activities. He also laments reduction in the federal allocation to state, making them run on stringent budget. Rashid has more in this report.
As part of activities marking the 4th anniversary of Governor Kayode Fayemi, Governor Amechi breezed into town to commission projects ranging from a 2-kilometer road at the Ekiti State University and the new Faculty of Medicine in the institution.
To the glory of God and for the use of mankind and the people of Ekiti State.
The River State Governor got the opportunity he has often craved for to hit at the federal government. He did not waste time as he latched on the botched arms deal involving the seizure of $9.3 million in South Africa. For him, the development is an extension of the corrupt practices that have taken toll on revenue allocations to states across the country.
What worries me is the Nigerian population. Nobody has been able to ask the federal government what is happening to our resources. Nobody has said to the federal government, why is, since they said 20 billion was not missing, what about $9.3 million in South Africa? Now we're hearing about under 5. Is it 7.5 or 5.7? And the president doesn't care. Nobody cares. So stealing will continue in Nigeria. And then the populace, including you people, are doing nothing. We're just clapping for the president and clapping for the PDP people. I hope that we're able to change that to a more responsible government in 2015.
Amechi also scores the transformation agenda of the President Jonathan administration low.
The people behind this the transformation agenda program are people who benefited from oil subsidy. So not to be prosecuted, they're all behind president and utilizing the oil subsidy money to the detriment of the population.
Amechi's last attempt to visit Ekiti was not palatable as his aircraft was grounded. So how did he make the journey this time?
You can never tell. The level of impunity by the federal government, you can't tell. They can even grab my car.
Fayemi's newfound love of commissioning new projects and parading top guns of the APC in the state to political observers may not be unconnected with the 2015 general elections. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
The post-election crisis, which recently rocked Ekiti State and led to the imposition of curfew by the Kayode Fayemi-led government, has not stopped to generate reactions. Many had also raised concerns over the assault on the chief judge of the state by suspected political thugs, calling for the visitation of full arm of the law on the culprits. The tension raised by the development has also put doubts on the possibility of smooth transition from the Fayemi government to the governor-elect Ayodele Fauci. However, a former Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in the state, Owoseni Ajayi, speaking on our flashy program called Ajayi, says the state is ready for the transition and vows nothing will hinder the change of the specified date.
Whether anybody likes it or not, the tenure of the current administration will end by 12 midnight on October 15. and a new governor.
Whether anybody likes it or not?
Yes.
Okay.
Because that is the law of Nigeria.
What if the court says, is it possible that any court that is sitting presently says otherwise?
There is no how any court sitting presently can say otherwise.
It's all right.
Because there is no such prayers. There is no such prayer before any court sitting presently. Whether the tribunal or the 11 case, there is no such prayers that can stop the inauguration. Of course, there can not be any vacuum.
That's all right.
In the government of a state. And the only person that can take over on October 16 is the governor-elect.
That's all right.
Now, the recent protest by casual workers of a Lagos-based air attachment manufacturing company over the death of one of their colleagues has again brought to the fore the rising trend of casual labor force in Nigeria. And Chairman Organized Private Sector Union, Abdul Karim Otajo, and a legal practitioner, Shiji Akisoinu, are worried over the trend and blame the federal government for not exercising to full effect the labor laws in the country.
The easiest way to cancel what we call casual staff entirely in our system is for the Ministry of Labor to do their job. The law said that what they are there for, they do what they call factory inspection. When they do factory inspection, the first thing they ask for, where's your conditions of service? These people will never have a condition of service. I mean, what will be the condition of service when their job is not even permanent? So talking about whether they have medical, but maybe because they know that they are gathering a lot of people together, so they have, but they do, it's not based by law.
I see casual workers and contract staff as what we call modern day slavery, or second-class citizens in the modern capitalist economy of this world we are in now. So should we allow it to continue? That's the big question now. Because I see this as slavery. You are being forced to work under harsh conditions, no pay, and this thing. So yeah, you're more or less still like a slave in your own country, in your own backyard.
And by foreigners.
Yeah, exactly. And so what I think we should do is that the National Assembly and even the NLC should wake up.
It's all right.
They should wake up. Okay, we can be talking about ASU, and other workers in other establishments, other parastatals.
The National Assembly should wake up to their responsibility.
They should wake up to the responsibility, especially the responsibility actually falls squarely on the shoulders of the NLC.
The two analysts were guests on the Tuesday edition of our flashy program called Yes. Now, away from there now, Kwaduma is a village located inside Asokoro, one of the most expensive districts in Abuja, Nigeria's capital city. But unlike their high-profile neighbors, residents of this community do not have access to basic amenities. Pius Samuel now reports on the forgotten settlement inside Asokoro. Well, we'll bring you that report later in a bulletin. We'll take another break now on CoreTV Primetime News. We'll return with business stories. Don't go away.
As a doctor, I've seen lots of mothers. Now, I'm one myself. Other mothers have taught me things only a mother could know. But when it came to relieving their baby's pain and fever, many mothers don't know what to do. So I told them about Panadol Children. Panadol Children is fast and effective, and it can be taken from when they're 3 months old. I'm still learning to be a mother, and it's getting better every day. New Panadol Children, fast and effective relief from pain and fever.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical, women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
only on CoreTV News.
Glad to have you back. Now, in business, the Nigerian Communications Commission may be imposing sanctions on some mobile operators for various infractions, including violation of directive on tariffs, as well as failure to abide by ban on promotions. In a report on its monitoring activities in the second quarter of the year, the regulatory agency accused MTN Nigeria Communications Limited of continued violation of anti-competitive directive. NNC had asked MTN to collapse the different charges that obtains when its subscriber called within the network and other networks. It also accused MTN and Globalcom of violating directives, banning the networks from promotions as a result of failure to meet quality of service prescription. And the report also said, consistent with Section 89 of the Nigerian Communication Act 2003, which mandates the Commission to monitor all significant matters relating to the performance of all licensed telecom service providers. The Compliance Monitoring and Enforcement Department has developed monitoring strategies to prosecute the above mandate and achieve the Commission's objectives of fair competition, ethical market practice, and optimal quality of service in the Nigerian telecoms industry. The latest figure released by the National Information Technology Development Agency says Nigeria's active internet users currently stands at over 48 million. A statement issued by the agency head of public affairs, Mrs. Hadizat Marin Abuja, on Tuesday stated the Director General of the National Information Technology Development Agency, Peter Jack, made the assertion in a speech at the Global Media Meeting in Dubai. According to the report, ICT contributes over 8% to the Nigerian's gross domestic product and is now growing at 7% annually. The Director General explained that the agency had developed a national information and communication technology strategic plan with a timeline of 2010 to 2015 aimed at growing the ICT industry to a point where it contributes up to 15% to the GDP within 5 years. According to him, the implementation of the plan is ongoing in sectors such as education, agriculture, health, governance, and judiciary. Away from that now, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange GSE on Monday listed 3 new currency futures contracts to track the exchange rate between the rand and the Nigerian naira, the Zambian kwacha, and Kenyan shilling. The currency figures, which birth on the GSE, allow investors as well as importers and exporters to protect themselves against the currency movement in foreign country. The new futures contracts will provide the market participants with the ability to get exposure on the GSE to the exchange rate between the US dollar and the Zambian, Kenya, and Nigerian currency through trading synthetic cross currencies. The latest trade statistic from the South African Revenue Service shows trade flow between South Africa and Nigeria amounted to 34.4 billion rands between January and July this year. In the same period, trade between South Africa and Kenya amounted to 4.6 billion, and trade between South Africa and Zambia was valued at just less than 18 billion rands. And now to the capital market now. The Nigerian Stock Exchange has said it remains committed to improving financial literacy and empowerment as well as the deepening of the capital market. The head corporate division, NSC, Bola Adeko, has said this as the exchange commenced the 2014 edition of its annual national exit competition for students. He says the exchange is committed to support efforts aimed at addressing financial literacy and empowerment, as this commitment is expressed in the various financial inclusion and literacy initiatives undertaken by the NSC. Adeko says the competition's overall goal was to develop a culture of wealth creation amongst the youth. Catching them young pointed out that the 2014 edition was only open to senior secondary school students. Adeko says the competition will not only expose the younger generation to the operations of the stock market, it will also allow them to develop a culture of medium and long-term investment and to consider career choices in the security markets. You're watching CoreTV Primetime News. We'll take another break. We'll be back shortly with more stories. Join us again.
Nigerians continue to
Tonight, the city of Lagos waits and gog as all routes
Be the first to know. From the north, south, east, west, and around Africa, we break the news.
One Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are CoreTV News.
Welcome to CoreTV.
24-hour news station.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes, and bleeding from the eyes, ears, and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces, or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees, or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
And in sport now, the Confederation of African Football has announced a list of 7 countries that put in their bid before deadline day to host the 2017 African Cup of Nations. The deadline for applications was September 30. Libya were scheduled to host the tournament after switching the 2013 AFCON with South Africa, but finally dropped out following increased unrest in that country. Egypt, Algeria, Ghana, Kenya, Sudan, Zimbabwe, and 2012 co-host Gabon have all signified their intention to play host to the continent's biggest football event. While the eventual host will be known in 2015, CAF announced that due to the lateness, only countries with standard stadium accommodation, communication and training facilities will be considered. While the North African candidates have a good opportunity to retain the tournament in the zone, Egypt might be considered not safe enough to host the tournament, considering the political upheaval there. Ghana co-hosted with Nigeria in 2000 and went alone in 2008, and could still use many of the facilities from that period. And now in Bundesliga now, former Chelsea and West Bromwich Albion boss Roberto Di Matteo has been appointed as the new manager of German club Schalke. The Italian 44 succeed Jan Keller following the Bundesliga's club's inconsistent starts to the season. Schalke are 11th in the league with 8 points from 7 games, having won just twice. They are third in their Champions League group after 2 draws, including holding Chelsea 1-1 at Stamford Bridge. Di Matteo is set to face his former club when the 2 teams played a reverse fixture in Germany on 25 November. Keller had been in charge of Schalke since December 2012, and after being knocked out of the German Cup by third-tier SG Dynamo Dresden earlier this season, his last game was a 2-1 defeat by Hoffen last Saturday. Now in the EPL now, Daley Blind believes he can emulate his father, Danny, and become a leader on the pitch for Manchester United manager Louis van Gaal. The Netherlands international has been a key fixture of Van Gaal's United side so far, with former Barcelona and Bayern Munich both suggesting recently the 24-year-old was a better player than his father. Danny Blind was captain of Van Gaal's Champions League winning Ajax side in 1995 and was his assistant alongside Patrick Kluivert at the recent World Cup in Brazil. Having played under Van Gaal at the World Cup in Brazil, the younger Blind is well versed in how 63-year-old operates and feel his United teammates are beginning to adapt to the new regime. And now, Britons and the Murray overcame a second set blip against the Teimuraz Gabashvili in the Shanghai Master first round with a 6-1, 7-5 win. A 2-time champion took little time to take the first set, but numerous errors with his forehand in the next set saw him struggle over the line. The world number 11 also complained about the Russian qualifiers grunting in a match that lasted 84 minutes. The 27-year-old will play world number 37 Jerzy Janowicz in his next match. And now outside Nigeria, fighting continues to rage in the Syria-Turkey border town of Kobane, with Islamic State militants moving into southern district. The US-led coalition has carried out more airstrikes to try to aid the Kurd defenders. However, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan warned airstrikes were not enough and Kobane was about to fall. Managed to say at least 400 people have died in 3 weeks of fighting for Kobane and 160,000 Syrians have fled. Report says the Kurdish demonstrators has been killed in clashes with Turkey's police in the town of Vatu as Kurds widen their protests against what they view as Turkey's inaction over Kobane. In the latest clashes, the UK-based monitoring group, the Observatory for Human Rights, said it had crossed into southern district of Kobane, taking over many buildings. However, the observatory said heavy fighting and forced ISIS to pull back from the eastern district its fighters had entered on Monday evening. It also suggested many ISIS fighters had been killed in an ambush by Kurdish fighters. The town is now besieged on 3 sides. A humanitarian mission to evacuate the few thousand civilians left in Kobane continued on Tuesday. Well, and that's been the show tonight. On behalf of the entire news crew, I am Frank Omalape, wishing you a beautiful night rest. Thank you for watching.